Hi, my name is Vesna Karapetrova, and we're here today at Canadian Macedonian Place on the 19th of February 2014 to interview Miss Violet Butsev-Gulabov. Welcome, Violet, and thank you for sharing your life story with us here at Macedonian Canadian Place for the Macedonian archives of the Macedonian Historical Society. Can we start by you telling us, Violet, where and when were you born?
Do I have to tell you the year too?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
It's all right.
Virginia says yes.
I was born, we lived on 406 King Street,
Toronto?
Toronto.
Here in Canada,
yes,
okay.
in Canada. My father was a barber in the same building. We lived above the barber shop.
And you were born in the
And
year
I
of?
was born in 1925 I was born in the hospital actually, because I guess they thought that was a better place than at home. Many
Yes.
people had the children at home. So I was born at the Toronto General Hospital.
Mm-hmm. And where were your parents born?
They were born in Zagoricini, Macedonia,
Okay.
both of them. And that was the name. Now I think it's has another name. But that was what it was called at that time.
Right, and now it has another name.
I think so.
It's not a Macedonian name?
I don't think so.
No. So it's been changed to a
It's
Greek
been
name?
changed to a Greek name. And yes, now it could be Klisura, I'm not sure.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And my father came to Canada first. I'm not sure the year. Did I tell you what year?
1913, your father.
When?
1913, your father.
1913, very early. And he opened a barber shop. I suppose it worked elsewhere, but he opened a barber shop on 406 King Street East. And then I believe he went to Bulgaria, because my mother went to stay with her sister in Bulgaria from Macedonia, and he went to Bulgaria and brought her over to Canada.
And where was your mother born?
She was born in Macedonia too, in the same village,
Zagoricini.
Zagoricini, yes.
And do you know why your mother had to go from Zagoricini to
My mother was
Bulgaria?
an orphan,
Yes.
and she had a sister, and she went to join her sister in, what was her sister? I don't know if she was in Bulgaria or she went to another country.
Was there a reason why
Maybe
the sister
Budapest.
had left?
Well, she married someone.
She married someone.
And
Okay.
so she moved to this other country. And my mother joined them there. And I guess my father heard about my mother through friends, and he went to Bulgaria, married my mother. So then my father brought my mother to Canada.
Right. Now, your father's family, do you know where your grandparents were born?
They were born in the village there.
In Zagoricini as
also.
well?
Yes.
And your mother's parents
and my
as well?
mother's parents too. They were all from the same village.
And what language did they speak in Zagoricini?
Well, at one time, I think they spoke Bulgarian or Macedonian. And then I think later, when the Greeks came, they were supposed to speak Greek. But my parents left before they had all these problems, so they never did learn to speak Greek.
Okay, so your parents always spoke Macedonian?
Yes, and my mother went to Bulgaria with her sister, so she continued with Macedonian, Bulgarian.
And yes, and do you have brothers and sisters yourself?
No, I'm the only one.
Okay. And your parents?
My mother had a sister who married someone in Bucharest, but they had a store there, and some robbers went in and killed both her husband and killed my aunt.
Right. Now, Violet, you were born here in Canada.
Yes.
Do you remember anything about the village that your father and mother told you stories?
Well, we did go to visit the village
Oh, you did, uh-huh.
many years later. And I found it was difficult to live in that village. It's a very small village. So I did hear stories, and I did hear stories about the Turks
Yes.
coming in and raiding the village and stealing the pretty women, taking them away to Turkey.
So this is from your
That's
mother
from-
and father
yes.
when they lived in the village?
Yes,
Mhm.
and that was a true story. That's what happened
Yes,
at that time.
before they left.
And the women had to hide. When they knew that the men were coming in, they used to hide the women.
Because they thought that they would get
Yes,
harmed.
and they would. They would steal them, take them back to their village, to their own country.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So that was a very bad time for them.
right. So they were very happy when they came to
Oh,
Canada.
of course.
And
Yes,
a lot
they
of
were.
happy times here.
Yes, yes.
Over here, I believe we have another photo.
Shall I take a look at it?
Sure.
Let's see which one this is.
Okay, that's fine.
That's good.
Oh, this is my mother. This is her wedding.
Uh-huh.
This is my father, my
Okay,
mother,
So now he'll
the
just put it over
mother-in-law.
here, Yeah.
Okay, so.
I don't know who the rest are. They're all relatives. The
But-
main ones that I know is my mother, my father,
Yeah, they're the
and
bride
my
and groom.
father's mother.
What year was that, Violet?
Well, it had to be before maybe 1920 or so.
Two, yes, 1922.
Mhm.
And this picture was taken in Sofia, Bulgaria, when
Yes.
your father went to meet your
Yes.
mother, and
Yes.
it must have been love at first sight. They got married.
I don't know how they arrange these things at one time, but I think he did, care for her.
Yes, certainly. And we've got additional pictures of your father and your mother.
Yes, that is my father and my mother.
That would have
Right.
been
This is a picnic. This is my father in one of the cities, maybe in Bulgaria or Toronto.
that was
I'm
in
not sure.
Toronto.
And then this is a picnic in Toronto. We had many picnics at
Yes, what
one
do you
time.
remember about the picnics?
Well, they had a little orchestra,
Uh-huh.
and the women talked. The men were having conversations somewhere else. And there were usually a lot of fun, and the children were running around.
Uh-huh.
So
Was-
that's what I remember mostly about.
Was there a lot of
happy
dancing?
time. Oh, they did dance, yes. Yes.
Okay.
But we had more dances, I think, on the Sunday afternoons. We had dances at the church hall or at the club on Ontario Street.
And you spent a lot of time
Well,
in...
we used to go there to dance and meet all our young friends.
Oh, okay.
And the
Great.
parents loved it, so they liked going there too.
So it was a nice social time.
It was. It's good. You met all your friends and the Macedonian Bulgarians.
Uh-huh. Violet, before your father became a barber here in Canada, what did he do before?
He came and he went to barber school.
So when he came
Immediately.
from Zagoricani, he
Yes.
came to Canada and went to barber school.
Yes, yes.
Do you know what motivated him to go to barber school? Why he chose that path?
He liked to talk to people, and I don't know why.
Yeah. And how old would he have been at this time? Would have been young.
Yes, well, it's when he first came from,
And he was only
20?
16, 17?
No, I don't think he was that young.
He was 16?
Was he? Oh my
Okay.
goodness! I didn't
So
realize
as a
he was
young
that young.
man coming to Canada by himself, did he come by himself?
Yes, he did.
Did somebody sponsor him, Violet?
I'm not sure how that happened, but maybe at that time they were allowing more immigrants,
Yes.
so he came
Do you remember how he traveled to Canada?
by ship.
So he would
Of
tell you that
course.
he came with the ship.
Oh, yes, he came with the ship, and it was a rough journey
It was very rough.
on the ship, yes.
And do you
And
remember
he
where
landed
he
on
landed?
the East Coast,
In Halifax?
yes.
And the pier was Pier 21? Mm-hmm. Yes, that's where a lot
Okay.
of the ships came through that came from.
I guess he
that-
came there too.
Yes. Okay, so he came as a young man and he started going to barber school, which
He
was a very
did.
wise decision.
Yes.
And eventually, did he end up working with somebody or did he open up his business right away?
He opened up, from what I recall, he opened up his business right away,
Mhm.
and he had a partner, or he had someone that was also cutting hair. So there
Okay.
were two that were there. And the barber, his friend, married a very pretty girl from Bulgaria, but because I think the other barber was drinking a little too much, they separated.
Was this a Macedonian man?
Yes.
A friend of his from Zagoricani
I
as
don't
well?
know, no, he
Maybe
was
not the same.
Macedonian, not from there. But anyway, so
But he
that,
was Macedonian, yeah.
yes, he
Mhm.
was Macedonian, and at one time he disappeared, and we never heard what happened with him
Mm.
after that. And his wife moved on.
Oh. Okay, now, where did your parents live when they had the barber shop?
They lived right in the same building.
Uh-huh.
There was a door next to the barber shop door, and we lived upstairs,
This is downtown Toronto?
right downtown on King Street.
On King Street.
Mhm.
And your house, your
And
apartment
we
was
lived-
upstairs?
Yes, yes, we had a big living room. We had a piano there. My father loved music,
Mm-hmm.
a kitchenette, and then an extra room, plus upstairs where the bedrooms were. There were 2 bedrooms upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
And the building is still there.
And the building is still there.
Mhm.
Right. And Violet, when your father came to Canada, do you remember if he told you, and your mother as well, what kind of passports they had? Or if they had passports, nothing?
No, they had to have a passport.
Right. They had to have it.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And who were their friends? Now we've got a lovely picture there with lots of people. And
Well, we had a church,
yes,
which was the church on Trinity.
Trinity Church, yes?
Yes, and then we had another place on, where was it? Another group with Mr. Daffif as our teacher.
Okay.
We had a school there. What was the name of the street? Anyway, I don't know if it was Berkeley, but it was near there. And we had this building there, and we had Bulgarian school there. We had dancing on Sundays, and I guess they had meetings there sometimes. And we used to gather there.
Do you remember going to school? And-
Yes.
And learning the language?
Which language? English?
You can let us know.
Yes, because first of all, we spoke only Bulgarian. So when I went to school, my English was very poor.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to learn English as it would be the second language. And
So
we
you
spoke
actually,
Bulgarian
but
at home.
Macedonian, you mean?
Macedonian.
From from the same language you spoke. Your
Yes.
parents spoke in the village.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Okay, and then you went to school to learn
And I went to school to learn how to speak
English.
properly English.
English, because at home you were speaking
I
with
was
your
speaking
parents.
our own language.
Macedonian, yeah.
Yes.
What was your mother doing while you were growing up, Violet?
They were visiting with other friends. The women were getting together and talking, and she used to do cross stitch, a little bit of embroidery.
Embroidery. Do you remember
Mainly.
if she had any jobs?
No,
Not, your father did the.
he did, yes.
Yes. Now this picture is actually a picture of your christening. Of your christening. That's a very, very precious picture because I don't know too many people who have such a wonderful picture from that time.
Well, that was the roof
Uh-huh.
at the barber shop up above.
And where did you gather? You mentioned
We used to
Yes.
gather on Trinity Street and later on Ontario Street too.
Okay, and
Because
was
we had
this
an
the club?
orchestra, the club.
Uh-huh.
We had an orchestra and we had Bulgarian lessons there too, if we
Macedonian.
wanted to take them.
Yes.
We had a Bulgarian book.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
So that's very interesting that
Yes.
at that time you had a book that was used
That was used for,
for
there were
learning.
stories in it.
Uh-huh.
The alphabet was in it.
Do you remember who the teacher was?
I had, no, if I think of his name, I can't think of,
Okay.
Mr. Campbell, I think it was.
No.
Now, I don't know if he was the music teacher, but the Bulgarian teacher, I'm not sure.
Vera Matova.
Vera Matova
Are you
was
sure?
the-
Was she at the club?
I don't know, but she taught Bulgarian a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think I had
That was
her.
the only,
That was the only language that
That
was
was the only books that
book
we-
available. Yes, yes, and the Republic of Macedonia at that time wasn't even formed.
no,
so
that's
it
true.
was- so this
I
was
still
the-
have the book.
You still have the book.
I still
That's
have the
quite
book.
amazing.
Yes.
That's great. And then when you gathered together, you had other functions like choirs.
We had a choir,
Uh-huh.
we had an orchestra, and we had concerts Saturday nights. And dances sometimes on
Right.
Saturdays or Sundays.
What kind of songs did you sing in the choir?
One was Hubavasi Moja Gora.
Oh,
Hubavasi Moja Gora Mirishish Namlados. Do you know that?
yes,
Okay.
it's a very
That's
beautiful
one of
song.
them. It is.
Uh-huh. So you were actually you were singing Macedonian songs.
Yes.
You were speaking the language.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
and then you were also taking some music lessons as well.
I was
Violin?
taking violin lessons,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Where did you take those lessons?
They were at the club,
So the club provided musicians.
violin lessons.
Mm-hmm.
So we had Jimmy Campbell with the
Right.
choir, and Mr. Dafif was teaching me how to play the violin.
And you learned tunes that were just classical
I learned
or
classical
Macedonian English.
and some Macedonian.
Really, on the violin. And you had
Yes.
concerts
We had concerts at the club often.
with the
So with
children
the
who-
choir, we had the choir singing,
Yes.
and we had plays that we put on.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember a few plays that we had,
Yes.
but mostly it was concerts.
Right. So this would be a Macedonian plays where people would have.
We'll speak, yes, we'll
Yes.
speak
Mm-hmm.
Macedonian.
Right. Oh, okay. So there was quite a cultural life at the club.
Yes, yes, there was.
Mm-hmm.
They kept us together, and it was interesting, it was good.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to have. And of course, they had the same thing at the church at St. Cyril's.
And then Saint.
They had dances there too.
Uh-huh.
I think they had a few plays on the stage, but not that many.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then as you got older, what was your education like?
Well, I went on to Central Tech
Mm-hmm.
because my mother said every woman has to learn how to sew.
Okay.
So we started at Central Tech, and we take the streetcar to go there, of course. And we'd meet others, a few other Macedonians who also went to Central Tech. And we sit in the streetcar and chat until we got to the school, and whoever that group was, we would go to our classes. So I took the courses there, and when I finished the 4 years,
Yes.
I decided I would take a more specialized course in designing.
Mhm.
So I went to the Toronto School of Design to take this course on making patterns and, showing whatever I like to design. So I somehow got into the more lingerie type of thing than dresses. So I continued. And at the same time, I had a job after school because my cousin Luba had gotten a job at this model knitting mills where they were sewing sweaters. And she was sewing on a machine. And I think my father knew the man that owned the factory. It was not that easy to have a factory at that time. I believe he was a man who used to pick up, they had rag men, they used to pick up rags and they come
Yes.
along. And I think he was a man that collected whatever fortune he made, and he opened up this factory because my cousin Luba got a job there. I also got a job, but I did more supervising and just, I didn't work that hard on it, but I did learn about the business because I did a few things, different jobs while I was there. That was after school. And we would walk home with Luba because she lived same area around Parliament, above Queen, and we lived in the same area. We'd walk home, and we had a wonderful time laughing. We would go into the Woolworths at the corner,
Yes.
and they had jewelry there. We would look at it, and I see this jewelry now in the antique shops, and I know that it came from that Woolworths.
You
It was on the
remember.
corner of Yonge and Queen. So, and we were carefree. We'd walk home, everything was funny, everything was happy. No matter, we still had a roof over our head, which was still all right. They had jobs, and we had a job.
So your friends
It was
were
easy.
more like your cousins, and
Yes,
they were
yes.
Macedonian as well?
That's right, at
Your-
that time.
Your social circle?
Yes, it was that same group, because we were more together. Later on, you start changing a little.
And while you were still together, did you attend the dances together at the club or
We
the
did.
Macedonian church?
Yes, we did. They had concerts. We went to the concerts. That was where our excitement was the dances and the concerts at that time.
Okay, is that where young people
That's
met?
where we met,
Their,
the dances
their partners
especially.
as well?
Some did, yes,
Uh-huh.
some did, some didn't.
And how about yourself? How did you meet
Well,
your husband?
Mine was a few years later,
Okay, so you finished
and I was
your
already
school.
in business.
So you had opened up your business
I had
before you got
opened a
married.
business. And I
Was
had
that
a
a very-
Jewish partner.
Okay.
And I think they called me. I think they had heard about me. I was working at the sweater place where my cousin was sewing, and I was doing different jobs there. I didn't just sew. And somehow I was called first to this other company, which was a big lingerie company, and it was Silknet Limited on King Street. So I was called to work in that company. And there was another woman there who took the same course I did. Maybe that's why they had asked me to go. And she was the main designer, and I was her assistant. So I would help her make patterns, whatever, and we worked together until I thought I was getting, a little bit more independent. And
Yes.
someone called me it was another Jewish company, they called me and gave me a better position and offered me more money. And I was sure I could handle it, so I left this company, went on to Toronto Petticoat. And I made up the whole line. I took care of everything in the lingerie business. The boys had come, 2 men had come back from the war, and they had saved money and opened up this business. So I worked at it for, I guess, maybe 2 years or so, till I was called from another company, and they had heard that I had worked there, whatever, among their own grapevine.
Yes.
And this man offered me a position as a partner, and we would open up this company on Bathurst Street. So I thought, fine, I have nothing to lose. I'll be happy to do it. So I had to put my share in.
Yes.
And so we became partners. And that time, many Italian girls were coming in from Italy.
Yes.
And I had a wonderful group of workers. And we were just below Honest Ed's.
Yes.
And
on
we would
Bathurst.
see that lineup going down the laneway. He was so busy with people coming in and buying from him.
Yes.
And I had the girls lined up sewing. We would see his lineup outside the door that we'd open because we didn't have air conditioning. We'd open the door at that time.
And you produced lingerie?
We produced lingerie. We
Okay.
started producing lingerie. And then I used to go to Europe, to Italy sometimes, to have certain embroideries made up that I wanted to use exclusively. And I'd fly over. I knew one or two companies there. And they would make these appliques and whatever I could use for the lingerie. And at that time we had these frilly half slips, and we used meters and meters of embroidery to put on the half slips and slips. So that was a very productive time.
So you were with the partner on Bathurst?
On Bathurst.
Yes. And who was the person?
Mr. Hausman.
Okay.
And after we worked there a few years with him, I decided I would go on my own instead of a partnership.
And what year would that have been around when you opened up your own?
Maybe 60. When was it, Lydia? Did I tell you? Was it 60s? So I went on my own, and we found, we moved somewhere at that time. Colville, was that Colville?
Oh,
Did I write it down?
Right. So this is before you got married again? Or were you
see.
married when you opened up your own business?
Let's see now. Was I, wasn't I? I have to,
just before.
pardon, was it just before? Oh, okay. Just before.
Just before you got married,
Yes.
you opened up your business.
The lingerie business,
Uh-huh,
that's
and-
right.
and then-
Because I had to spend, I didn't have children, I remember, because I had more time to pay attention to the business.
Right. And what was the name of the new company that you opened, Violet?
Well, it's still Gaylor Lingerie and Unmentionables. We added
Yes.
another name, Unmentionables by Gaylor Lingerie.
Okay. Now the picture that we have there is when you were married,
Yes.
and
Oh, well, this is, my father is there and my mother. And I have 3 children, Evan, Jordan, and Lydia, in that order. And that is my picture.
that's great. And how did you meet your husband? You
I
were
met
working
him-
so hard on your
Well,
own. Did you?
I had a few friends.
You had a few friends.
And I met him through a girlfriend of mine
Uh-huh.
that we used to visit. And of course, we went to the club, but I met him at
So
her party.
your husband was Macedonian?
From Bulgaria. He's Bulgarian.
Uh-huh. And your friend was Macedonian that
She was
introduced you?
Macedonian Bulgarian. She
Oh.
was Bulgarian too.
Uh-huh.
And we met at her house. And then we met at the church here and there. So that's how we started our romance, shall we say.
Yes.
And then he joined me in the business.
You worked
So
together.
we worked together with him.
And you did the designing
I did the
yourself?
designing, he took care of the office,
Mm-hmm.
and we had the representatives that were selling across Canada. We had them in all the provinces except Quebec.
Right. And Violet, when you had your company, like, did your circle of friends, was it still very similar to what you had before?
Yes.
So a lot of
It was.
Macedonian people knew you and they came to you?
They didn't, well, they came for donations. When we had the donations at the church, we had, they would pick up whatever. We had some,
Bazaars.
what was it that I gave?
Bazaars.
Oh, bazaars, I forgot, it was for bazaars.
So you
they would
donated
come.
your
I would
products?
donate for bazaars at the
Uh-huh.
churches,
And
both St. George's, both
The Canadian Macedonian
the
place where we
Canadian
are here?
Macedonian place, that both churches and whoever
All right.
of our people I would donate to.
You were very supportive and donated
Yes, yes.
to the different,
To the different
Macedonian
causes.
organizations and
Yes,
causes
yes,
that
yes.
wanted support.
That's right.
That's great. And so, in terms of your circle of friends, what were some of the names of your Macedonian friends?
Well, you know, you're mostly in business, so you don't have as much time for friends. But I had Luba
Yes.
Kalyanov and her sister Victoria, who passed away. And Luba and Andy are still very good friends of mine. And how many? I mean, when you're in business, you don't have as much time to,
That's true.
you know, visit with friends. So your circle becomes smaller. Because in business, you work 6, 7, 8 o'clock, it depends.
You worked really hard.
Yes.
Yes. And when did your parents die, Violet?
Well, they both went to the Canadian Macedonia place.
Oh, they were both
Do you-
here. Uh-huh.
Yes. Now, I think you have the record. I've forgotten, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Do
So,
you have it?
Andy?
Andy,
And Andy worked in business?
Oh, yes, Andy was with us for many years.
And who, can you tell
Andy
us about who he
Gibelis.
was? Uh-huh.
They had, the Gavelis family was known, they had restaurants at one time. Andy came to work for us for quite a few years before he retired. And he's still busy working with his garden. And he married my cousin Luba.
Okay.
They were the friends that we knew when we were children. So Andy was with us working in the cutting room until he decided to retire.
And what was your circle of relatives?
Well, I have Dinka Donchev.
Yes, can you tell us about Dinka?
My father brought Dinka over from Macedonia,
From Zagoričani?
from Zagoričani.
The village
The
of
village,
Zagoričani in
yes.
Macedonia, yes?
In fact, he brought another 2, but they went to live in the States because
Okay.
their husbands came from the States, met them here, brought them back to the States.
Right.
So there were 2 others that were close first cousins that came and married and lived in the States, and Dinka stayed here in Canada. Now she has 3 children, 2 girls and 1 boy, and Kathy, Donchev,
Yes.
Leonard, and Gina. So they're still, we still visit, especially with Kathy. And we were very close because she lived around the corner and I used to take her with me when we went to visit.
Violet, I'm just, I know that we've got a picture here with some of your closer relatives.
Oh yes, well this is Dinka
Mm-hmm.
and her daughter Kathy and her daughter Gina
So
before they were married.
oh,
Dinka
okay.
Donchev.
Dinka Donchev with
Yes.
her daughters.
Yes,
Yeah.
with her daughters.
And this is
I-
you
this is
and
me and my daughter,
yes.
Lydia.
Yes. At the time that you were that you got involved in business on your own, that is that's quite wonderful, and I'm sure you're one of the few Macedonian women who was in business and who had the courage and confidence to
Oh,
be an
yes, to-
entrepreneur. And I'm just wondering, what motivated you to start your business?
Well, I had some experience in working for this other sweater company after school, I think in the summer. And then I had worked for this huge company designing, and there was another designer there, a little older, I was her assistant. And I guess I figured if she can do it, I was confident in myself because I was helping her out. And someone, I don't know how they heard, phoned me if I would go over for an interview. And I thought, and we had an interesting interview. There were 2 fellows who had come back from the war and had saved, I guess, a certain amount of money, and they wanted to start this business. And I was willing to go and help them because they had heard about me, that I was a designer. And I knew a little more about the business anyway because of my experience in the old factory, and then just being a designer and putting things together with the machines. And I decided, well, I would take a chance. What's the point of just working for someone else? Because I noticed that the other designer, the head one, would bring in somebody else. It wasn't me, it would be someone else. So if I didn't behave and work under her, I could be out. So I decided here a better job was coming along. I'll take a chance. I had not much to lose, I figured. Why not? And it was very interesting because I worked with these two young fellows, and I learned a lot, and I helped them. And finally another Jewish fellow, because they all speak among themselves,
Yes.
had heard about my working there, etc. And he offered me, called me, I went to speak
Yes.
with him, offered me a partnership. So I thought that was much better. And at that time we had many girls coming from Italy. It was in the 50s. And he had this store on Bathurst Street that we could set up. It was just below Honest Ed's. And it ran to the laneway. So we set up machines. We had the cutting room on the lower floor. And the first man who came to work was from Finland, and he was the cutter downstairs. And I had these wonderful girls that came from Italy, were anxious to work, and some of them I still speak to. And they were such a happy group to work. They were such a pleasure to have. And it was easier, of course, to sell at that time because things were moving along very well at
Yes.
that time. And if you could supply someone with the right product, and they were lingerie was selling, you could have a good business. So we had salesmen across Canada, and we'd make up our line, and I would design whatever we wanted in our line, and they would go out to sell it.
Right.
And then we would add up whatever was sold. We would make our markers there, which we made downstairs in the basement because we had to add on. And the girls were sewing upstairs.
Right.
And the lineup of girls going to shop at Honest Ed's came right to our open door at the
Right.
back. We didn't have air conditioning.
Yes. So how long did you stay in your business?
Until I'm still in the business.
Oh, so you have it still.
We still have it.
Yes. So so you started your business in 1960,
Yes.
and the business is still going on.
The business my son has taken over now.
Okay, wonderful.
So he's still going on with it.
And how many?
But we also produce it now in the Dominican Republic.
You have
because
a
it
business
costs-
in the Dominican
Yeah,
Republic.
the girls produce for us.
Uh-huh.
Isn't that right?
Yeah.
You'll add more on.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And they produce it for us now because it's too expensive to produce here. So we just import our merchandise.
You import the merchandise.
there.
You're sourcing it, yes.
Yes.
And so presently you've got your factory in Dominican Republic, basically? You're importing, outsourcing
Yes.
from the Dominican
Yes,
Republic.
they're sewing. I think Evan has a few people sewing for him.
And how many people were working in your business while you were there and the business was going on here in Canada?
Maybe I had about 25.
At the peak, yeah? Great, and there's still, now you're continuing
Now
to
we're
source it from
continuing, yes.
different, yes.
Yes.
And
We can't compete now.
yes, the climate economically
The
has
prices
changed.
economically, yes.
Yes.
And you can't find the same one. We had a certain period, we had the Italian girls first of all. They were great. Then that changed to the Chinese. Then we had a great Chinese group. And from then on it started changing, that it was easier to import.
Different immigrant groups came and you saw the changes in
Yes,
the workers,
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, and can you tell us a little bit about the picture there? I think that's in your business, correct?
Oh, yes. This is my husband who was in the office
Yes.
Lydia would come in to help. This is her daughter who came to visit. And that's, of course, me.
Great.
And this is the lingerie hanging and the factory
This is in Toronto.
in Toronto. Yeah,
Okay.
everything was in Toronto.
And can you tell us, we saw your daughter and granddaughter. Can you tell us a little bit about your children?
Well, I have three. All right. She's the first one.
Lydia is
Lydia's
your
my first,
oldest?
my oldest,
Okay.
the daughter. And she has three very nice children. And she's an accountant. And the children are studying, her children.
They're now older and
They're
steady.
older, yes. And then there's Jordan. He became a doctor.
This is Jordan's wedding that we have here.
That's his wedding then. And he studying in Waterloo?
Yeah, but he lives in Waterloo now.
Yeah, I know, but how did he meet Jean?
With T.
Okay. Anyway,
Uh-huh.
he married, his wife lived in Waterloo, so
Yes.
he opened up his practice in Waterloo,
Yes.
and he's working there as a doctor. And then Evan, that's in the business with us, is the youngest one. That's Evan hiding there. And
Children.
Jordan, he has two children, two nice girls. Lydia has three, two girls, one nice boy, two nice girls.
Violet, I know that your father came by himself here as a young man.
Yes.
When did he bring his brother?
He doesn't have a brother.
She brought Dinka.
He brought a niece.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he brought a niece, Dinka, and he brought two more. And the two of them went to the States. He brought them here,
Okay.
and two married, and he found someone at that time to marry. Two of them married two American men, went to live in America. He would bring the men over. Let's arrange marriages, you know.
Just like in Macedonia.
Yeah, that's what he was doing. So anyway, and Dinka Donchev married a husband, and she stayed here, and she loved his hair. She married him because he was handsome, had nice hair. She was very happy with him. And now I have Kathy and her sister, Gina, and Leonard, who live here, and they're the closest ones that I am with, that we talk and see each other. Who else do I have? I have you. And your daughter and son. Lydia has three nice children.
Yes,
And
that,
Jordan has, his two girls are good. And Evan has good girls too. They're a little more precocious. They're a little bit Italian. They're a little more.
but it sounds like you've got lovely grandchildren, Violet.
I hope so.
Yes, and you talked to us a lot about your career, and that's very interesting, and your family as well. Is there anything that you'd like to point out in terms of what you're really proud of?
Well, I'm very happy that I have had a career and that I can still go in and give my opinion about whatever my son is doing.
Okay.
I'm still interested, and that's really kept me, it's given me a lot in life. Not just staying home, which I did do that and bring up the children. I think they turned out quite well. And on top of it all, I've had an interesting career. I could never have stayed home because once you start off and being active, it's very difficult to confine yourself. And I still go to the office to see what Evan is doing occasionally. And of course, time has gone by, so.
And you've been so busy with the business as you were growing the business. Were you involved in any organizations?
Not very much. I don't think so.
But you donated a lot of your...
I donated.
What do you remember from when the Canadian Macedonian Place was being built in terms of your involvement?
I don't know how involved I was, but I thought it was a very good idea. And I'm sure that the people that lived here are very happy, very comfortable here because my mother enjoyed the time she was here. So I think it's a great place for the Macedonians because they have all their own culture, they have friends, they may have others coming, but they're kept busy, and I think that keeps them interested and alive, which is very important to have.
And you were very supportive as the Canadian Macedonian place was being built. I understand you donated some of your clothing.
Yes.
And then
I'm
what?
happy to do that.
And what happened to that clothing
Well, it was sold
at the bazaars?
at the bazaars, and the money went into
fundraising.
the fundraising.
That's wonderful that you were supportive and with
Yes, I was
with a
only
lot
too
of
happy to
support,
do that, of
like
course.
yourself, like a lot
Yeah,
of
you do
Macedonian
have to
businessmen
because it is
supported.
important to support these places. And we have such a small group of people really that are helping and that are involved. It's important for everyone to do their bit to keep up the Macedonian Bulgarian idea. So we should all support it, actually.
Yes, and just in terms of again, I find it fascinating that you had the confidence and the entrepreneurial spirit to go into business at that time when there really were not that many women, especially Macedonian women, going
Oh,
into
yes,
business
it's
on
true.
their own. Did you feel that you were one of the few?
I didn't feel much, I just enjoyed it. I mean, I
Right.
looked for jobs and I enjoyed doing things. I was very happy that I found something even after school to go in
Yes.
and work for a while and do whatever, which I learned some things about the business. And we'd walk home very happily. I'd make maybe a few dollars, not the same day, but when my pay came in. And we would go to that Woolworths that was on Yonge Street at the corner of Yonge and Queen.
Yes.
And we'd look at all the nice jewelry that they had, all the little packages.
Yeah.
And sometimes payday, maybe we'd buy a little something. I still have a few things from Woolworths. And we'd walk home very happily with Luba.
Right.
I mean, what else did we do?
Right.
We didn't do very much. I mean,
Yeah.
if they had these dances, you'd walk home, you'd do your homework, or you'd do whatever it was, because you didn't go to the movies all the time.
Right.
And, we had a home life.
A home life. And
Yes.
in your home life, did you speak mostly Macedonian?
Yes.
With your
My mother insisted.
yes.
She would say, you must speak our language.
Значи майка ти
Майка
сакаше да
И татко ми, и той.
и тој.
But майка ми най-повече
Аха.
казваше, треба да говориме по нашо.
Така каже.
Especially кога сме дома.
Дома. И ти тоа го памтиш.
Да, аз говорим
Да.
Macedonian Bulgarian.
Исто
Because трябва да учиш. I went to на училище, трябва малко да се учиш.
така.
And кой беше? Имахме ден на черквата там, on Trinity. I forgot his name. He was teaching.
A teacher?
Yeah, he was teaching Bulgarian. Not Jimmy. Anyway, if I think of his name. But when I was in the house, I had to speak Bulgarian. I went in Macedonian, Bulgarian, treba naši език да го говориш и да го знаеш. So,
Така. И со керка ти, со децата
well, керка ми знае,
разбира?
разбира, да.
Да.
Джордан, той малко и той.
той разбира.
И Ванчо и той разбира, да, разбират.
Да.
Не го говорят като треба, ако отиваше на училище.
Да, не бяха тука на училище,
да,
така.
Ама разбират.
Ама разбират, да.
Да. И аз почва да забравям, защо нямам с кой да
Да зборуваш.
сборвам.
Да говориш, да.
Да говорим, да сборвам,
Да.
whatever it is,
Да.
език сега.
Да. Така.
So, да. Трябва да говоря с някои люди. Трябва ние двете да си говорим само български, македонски.
Само македонски.
Македонски.
Да си пиете кафе македонско и да си
Да.
зборувате македонски.
Кога влизаме на къщата, майка ми каза, че треба да говориме по нашо.
Sigurno.
Да.
Така. А со твој
Зборува, говориме,
така.
whatever.
А со Љуба, другарките во почетокот по наше зборувавте по македонски?
No.
Почнете по англиски, така?
English, of course.
Ама кога појде ти на школу првин, kindergarten, grade 1, знаеше англиски?
не знаеше.
Не знаеше англиски, а?
Не можеше да му кажем на учителката какво искаше да
Што сакаше да му кажеш?
Сакаше да му кажем, искаше да излезем на клозет.
Да, и не знаеше да му кажеш?
Не знаеше да кажем. Трябваше да станам и да се отидам, без да му кажем.
Да.
And then she hit me with the pointer.
Oh, I'm glad we don't do that anymore in schools.
Yeah. Then my mother went over and said, "Why did you hit me?" Because they were swollen.
Yeah, well, good for your mother.
Yeah, she
that was
went,
very
"Why did you
good."
hit my daughter?"
Exactly. So she hit you because you didn't speak.
Because I went to the washroom and I couldn't
And
ask
you couldn't
her.
ask her.
I couldn't ask her. I couldn't ask her. It's
Yes.
a terrible thing. I
Yes.
remember.
So at that
So
time,
I just got up and went to the washroom. What am I
Yes.
going to do?
that's understandable. You
Yeah.
did the right thing.
I got punished.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was,
But with
it was good.
with your small friends at that time, you would have been speaking Macedonian
Mostly English, I think.
after you learned it.
With Luba
Uh-huh.
and her sister, it was Macedonian. But
Yes.
after, school,
Yes,
that's what happens. You lose the language.
that's right.
You know.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, everybody starts speaking English.
But you still speak Macedonian very well.
Well,
Yes.
Знам
Very
да говоря.
well.
Какво?
Public school.
Which public school?
Во кој public school беше тука?
Wait a minute.
Queen Elizabeth, Queen
Is that what it
Alexandra,
was?
right?
Queen Alexandra.
Queen Alexandra,
Oh, okay.
yes. You mentioned that a little earlier,
Oh,
sorry.
good.
Yes.
All right.
And then you went to the technical school.
I went to Central Tech.
Central Tech. That's right.
Yeah, that was on Dundas and around Bathurst.
Right. Is there anything that you feel we may have gone over and missed that you'd like to add to our interview that you think is important, perhaps to pass on to your grandchildren in terms of
Well,
their careers and
I
their
enjoyed having
interests?
a career
Uh-huh.
and earning my own money and being able to travel because I could earn, and sometimes I could go on business trips at that time, at the beginning, till the Chinese changed things.
Yes.
And but that was quite a few years, so that was interesting to go and make my own patterns, design the embroideries, and they would do all this, and they would be happy to do it in Italy. So that was fine. And later on, I think we started importing from China, didn't we? With the mother of someone who had the connection. In fact, Evan is bringing his bras in from China.
He's bringing the
He's still
product,
bringing,
the bras from-
no, the Dominican now, not China. It started from there. Now it's the Dominican. I think,
Yeah. So in terms of everything that you've experienced, Violet, it sounds like you really followed your dream.
almost. Yes, I would say so. It's true. I had been thinking of these things. I love stories. I think part of us, my mother was telling me the stories of all these different places, and my father
Do you
telling me
remember
more
any stories of any places?
I don't know if I know there was Stratinoja, but that has nothing to do with
Right. So these are
traveling.
folk tales. Yes.
Folk tales.
All right. Uh-huh.
That was not the best story of all, but anyway, no.
But you remember the stories.
I remember stories, and I remember my father loving to travel and telling me make-believe stories too. So, I
That
think
encouraged you.
traveling, it really encouraged me. Maybe that's what made me go into this, because if I just stayed and did whatever, I wouldn't go anywhere. So, I don't know, I guess a combination, whatever it was, maybe made me do more. So because a designer at this big company, they're expecting her to travel. Not that she did, but they expected her to travel. And the whole idea of working these places meant I could go to different places and get ideas at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I always liked traveling because my father liked to travel. He used to tell me stories about Macedonia,
Mm-hmm.
and they were very interesting. So it gave me a picture of what it'd be like, and I wanted to travel around the whole world if I could. I'm still not finished traveling.
Good for
I
you.
hope.
And did you have an opportunity to go and travel to Macedonia?
We did, yeah.
Yes.
We went there, and I went to the village.
Mm-hmm. To Zagoriceni?
Yeah,
Yes.
I went to Zagoriceni, and you know, it's still I don't know, it's a sad place there then. Maybe it's improved now. But then we went up the mountain to see my father's oldest sister. She was about 90 years old then.
And she lived
She
in the
lived up
village?
high in the village,
Yes.
because the village is below,
Right.
and she lived way up high. So we went to visit her in the village. I really wanted to get out of the village. It felt very stifling because everybody came
Yes.
and they wanted to hear stories from you.
Right.
I wanted to hear stories from them. They want to hear stories from you. And then, of course, they talked about the Turks that were there at one time. Some of them remember the stories. That's always interesting, too. You know the Krvava Svadba.
Do you remember the stories they told you? Say them.
The Krvava Svadba, you remember that?
I remember it on the stage.
So it was one of the stories that,
That was
put
one of the
on,
stories that was
on
put
stage,
on the stage
with the theater, yes.
at the theater
At the
our-
club.
Yes, at our club, or I think even the Zala.
Yes.
They had, and the stories. I heard about how bad it was with the Turks, and I have a very good friend that's from Turkey. But anyway, that was years ago.
And Turkey is a very good friend of Macedonia now.
Well, yes,
The
things
best
changed.
friend,
They
yes.
changed. You
Things
see.
have changed for the better.
Yes, yes, that's one good thing that comes out of it. What else can I remember? I remember being very happy walking home, even if you made just a few dollars or a few cents. Maybe we were happier then, in a sense, in a different way. I mean, of course, maybe it was the age. You're giggling and happy about everything. And then we're happy at the dances, doing the horo. That was fun. And then Easter, of course, we had at the church. That was a nice function.
This would be now the Church on Trinity?
Well, they all had it, but we went to the church on Trinity because
Okay, that's where you
we were
live.
living on King Street.
Right.
And that's the first big Zala, and that was the first church, I think, that we had. So it was a nice gathering place. And Easter, it was full of people. We were all outside. And there were good times. And Dr. Malin was the one who took care of the community.
Yes.
So he was well known among us. And who else can I think of for anybody? What other stories?
I don't know, Steve Stavro, the vegetables. Steve
Well, they all know Steve Stavro. You've heard it, you know.
Yes.
You know all the stories of Steve and Sally.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've spoken
So you
to the
knew
family.
them?
I knew them.
Yes. In the community, they were
Yes.
active?
Well, we would meet at the dances, and,
Right.
and everybody was busy. When you become 18, 19, you're busy doing whatever. You don't have time for social work.
Right.
I mean, to be social, not work.
Socializing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because, you know, you start, especially if you get into a business, that keeps you busy all the time. But I enjoyed the business aspect of it all. It was a real pleasure being in it and seeing sales and your representatives. And business is similar. Even now, I'm still interested, although my son is handling it. But it's
You're still
it
involved.
keeps you active, and your mind is still has something else to think about instead of just yourself.
Absolutely, and that's important.
It is important, yes. So you have to have other interests.
So at the present time, you're involved in the business?
Not as much, but I can go and visit and see what my son is doing and giving him my opinion.
Okay, great.
So I mean, I don't have to be that active anymore. I don't care to be
Right.
as active as I was. Of course, time has marched on.
Mm-hmm.
But I like to still go and see what is going on and tell him what I think sometimes.
Has the lingerie business changed a lot since
Well,
what you
yes.
recollect right from the beginning?
It
Uh-huh.
has, because it was more active in Canada because we had representatives right across.
Yes.
And we had the girls sewing here. Now it's imported, so it's a different story,
Now it's very
a
different.
little different.
Right.
What have I missed?
The name of your company now,
Oh, it's still Gay Lure Lingerie.
Gay Lure?
Yes. Have you not got any? We didn't bring anything.
Violet, can you tell us how you got the name? How you created the name?
We
of your
had
company?
no time to think. We would have changed the name if we had time to think. But we had to run and have it registered. And my partner and I were saying, well, we have to find something happy,
Happy, yes.
you know, alluring. So we came with gay is happy, and we had to have a name that we could use. And alluring was lure. So that's how we got the combination. We called it Gay Lure.
Uh-huh, okay.
And instead of gay allure, we had a hyphen there.
Mhm.
So that was a last minute thought. We may have changed it. We had time to think, but we had to run and register it. Now we have Love Lines too, which is registered.
Oh, Love Lines,
Love
another
Lines, yes, that is a registered
subsidiary,
name.
yes.
Mhm. So I think they use that mostly,
Uh-huh.
don't they? Love Lines, yeah, rather than Gay Lure
And
because they've kind of mixed up the word.
Yes,
a
the
bit.
word is very different.
Yes.
Has a different meaning at
Yes,
the present.
right.
Unmentionables too.
Oh, yeah, unmentionables.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unmentionables primarily now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That's great.
So that's part of the story.
Well, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, Violet, and we thank you for taking the time to share some of these very interesting parts of your
And I'm glad
life
to
story.
share it, and I hope it makes other young ladies ambitious to do something too on their own. You never know, but you have to try.
Well, models are very important, and you are a wonderful model
Oh,
for
thank you.
all of the Macedonian young girls who are going to be listening to these interviews to learn more about the Macedonian people who first came to Canada and what they what their professions were. And I know that definitely you're an inspiration to the young girls, that they can follow their dreams
They can.
just like you did.
Of course they
And,
can.
and
it's
follow
worth
their
it. It's
talent.
worth it. It gives you a certain satisfaction, a certain happiness if you realize part of your dreams even, if not 100%. But if you've tried and you've had an interesting time, and it's been rather a good, interesting life for you, otherwise could have been a little boring, maybe. But anyway, everybody should try to
And just
follow their dream.
You paved the way as a pioneer Macedonian woman.
I guess so.
One of the first few in business to have her own business. Certainly, you have paved the way, and thank you so much for this interview.
It was my pleasure. I hope the other girls move on too. Do
you.
what their dreams are.
Absolutely,
Dream a dream and try to make it come true.
It's a wonderful idea to live with, isn't it?
Yes.